Now, Pet Pals TV, we're here at Indianapolis Care and Services. Katie Trenopole is here as well, and she is the deputy?
I'm the deputy director.
She's the deputy director. Let's talk about how things are going here after COVID. I think we've all learned maybe even to appreciate our pets even more. What have you seen?
Yeah, I think we've absolutely learned that. Early on, we did see a lot of people coming in to adopt at a faster rate than normal. We saw a lot more people stepping up to foster animals and take them home. And then we also saw a decrease in the amount of animals coming in as surrenders. So in the big picture, it's been a really positive time for the shelter. We've learned a lot of things that we're going to continue with, such as adoptions by appointment. We're able to make better matches with the adopters and for the animals so that we can find the right fit.
Okay, and we should mention we've all had our shots here, so that's why we're doing this without masks so close together. We need the shots, and the animals need their shots too, right?
That's right. We've got to take care of ourselves to take care of them.
I like what you did there. All right, let's talk about the Nina Pulliam Trust and how they've helped you.
Yeah, so Nina Mason Pulliam, Leanne specifically, has been a huge supporter of the shelter and of our Friends Foundation, not just during COVID, but for years and years prior to that, but especially during COVID. Early on, we weren't sure what was going to happen with donations, if people were going to be able to keep donating, so they supplied a grant to help the Friends Foundation just maintain the programs that we already had in place.
Well, we're talking about the Nina Pulliam Trust, and that means, oh, we have someone here to talk about. Let's do a little dance here. You go right behind me, and we have Leanne Hoy here. Thank you for what you do. I wasn't aware that the Nina Pulliam Trust had done so much for so long. Tell me a little bit about the background.
Well, Mrs. Pulliam, she and her husband Gene had owned the Star newspapers in Indianapolis, and that's where they made their fortune. So when Mrs. Pulliam died, she left her estate to become the trust. And part of this was that she requested that part of her estate go to animal welfare, particularly companion animals. She was a pet lover herself. And so in 2012, we got together with some of the key groups, including the shelter here and Indy Humane and FACE, and kind of coordinated efforts with the funding to go with a three-pronged approach to keep euthanasia down. And you do that by spay and neutering, adoption, and community outreach. And so since then, we've given about $7 million to the efforts of the animal welfare groups here in the city. And then when the pandemic hit, we wanted to make sure that those efforts continued and that pet owners and families still had what they needed to take care of their pets.
Okay. And when Leanne and I had coffee the other day and we were talking, and I said, do you want people to know that you contribute all this money? And she said, yes, because then other people with trust funds may think, oh, I'd like to do that too, or may want to donate as well, right?
Right. We're one of the few funders in the city and Marion County, at least, that do animal welfare as our cause. 60% of all of our funding goes at least to basic needs, food, clothing, shelter, employment, but at least 20% or so a year goes to animal welfare. And so we figure that if more people see us doing this, again, more of the other local funders might want to come in, or private donations, especially to the shelter.
Okay, and you can do this all over the country if you're watching Pet Pals in another city. Also, Phoenix, you're up in Phoenix too?
Yes, we do animal welfare in Phoenix. The trust has 2 locations, in Indy and Phoenix. That's where the Pulliams own the newspapers. But we also do animal welfare out there at the same amount of funding level, and they have a Fix, Adopt, Save campaign. Right. And they do a lot of spay, neutering, and adoption as well. I have a counterpart out there, and he does great work. But we're just so excited to be able to help in any way we can. And
you do a wonderful job. And again, I love that we're learning all of this. Everybody come in closer now. All had our shots, remember? This is my new bracelet. Isn't this lovely? I like that. Thank you. Thank you very much for what you do. Thank you for what you've done and what you continue to do. You two have talked about this before, I can tell. They're pretty good. All right. Contribute. Come out, adopt. Don't forget to spay and neuter. All of those things. We may not be able to change the world, but we can change an animal's life one
animal at a time.
One animal at a time.
One animal at a time. We'll be back with more on Pet Pals TV.